Guys, we are going to do, listen, I'm going to do a couple of examples. I'm going to get through as much as I can. I'll finish it up tomorrow, then we'll do some more graphing practice. But I want you to see when and why the calculator is going to be super beneficial. There's going to be some that you have to do by hand, and there's some that you're going to have to do using the calculator, because we can't figure out what one of the zeros is just by looking at it. Some of them you're going to have to use the calculator to find one, and then once you find that one, then we use synthetic division. So, when you're, yes, if you go in the, go in the homework assignment itself. All right, guys, graphing when not factorable. I'm doing it right now. Graphing when not factorable. Listen, you're going to put your polynomial in order of decreasing degree. We talked about that. We're going to do our P over Q, the possible roots. And we're going to use the calculator to find one of the roots. Once we use the calculator to discover one of the roots, then we'll use synthetic division to figure out the one. So if I look at number 1, all right, if I said to myself, okay, I am going to do this by hand, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, all right, let me try and group it. If I group this, guys, is this going to group nicely? I'm going to take out x squared, I'm left with x plus 2. And here I'm going to take out a negative 4, and I'm left with x plus 4. Does that group? Yes or no, guys? No, that doesn't group. That does not mathematically work. So now you're like, okay, well, my next solution, since grouping doesn't work, would be P over Q. What is your P term? 16. So your factors of 16, plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 4, plus minus 8, plus minus 16, correct? What's your Q term? 1. All right, that makes our life a little easier. So how many different possibilities do we have here to try for synthetic division to find one of the zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 2 is 10, right? I could use positive 1, negative 1, positive 2, negative 2, positive 4, negative 4, positive 8, negative 8, positive 16, negative 16. So having your calculator available is helpful for 1, the ease of things, and 2, sometimes it's impossible to find the first root without your calculator. In this case, we don't have any fractions that we have to worry about, right? My Q isn't like a 2, so I have 4 over 2 or 1 over 2 or anything like that, yeah? So I'm going to go ahead and throw my pen at Angel. Sorry. And I'm going to try synthetic division. So I'm going to try 1. Let's see if synthetic division works with 1. So I have 1, 2, negative 4, and 16, right? I'm going to do this quickly. So bring down my 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. Negative 4. Is this going to work? Am I going to find a factor, a remainder of 0? No. So try negative 1. So negative 1. I have 1, 2, negative 4, 16. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. This is negative 1, negative 5. Is this one going to work? No? Okay. Try 2. Adam, are you with me? 1, 2, negative 4, 16. So bring down my 1. This is 2, 4. 4 times 2 is 8. This is 4. Is this going to work? No? Okay. Try negative 2. 1, 2, negative 4, 16. So bring down my 1. Negative 2, 0. Is this going to work? No? Let's try 4. 2, 4, 6, 24, 20. Is this going to work? No? All right, let's try negative 4. What are we trying to find? I forgot. A 0 for a remainder. Good. Negative 4, negative 2. This is 8. This is 4. What do we find? What's a factor? X equals what? Negative 4. You guys see that? So what do I have left over? This is my resulting polynomial. What is it? X squared minus 2x plus 4 equals 0. Guys, how many answers, how many solutions do I have for this problem? 3. Does that necessarily mean I have 3 x-intercepts? No. Can I factor this? Factors of 4 that multiply to give me positive 4 but add to give me a negative 2? That won't give me a negative 2 in the middle. No, it's not a perfect square trinomial. Because 2, how would you get a 2 in the middle? It'd be a 4 in the middle. A perfect square trinomial would either give you a positive 4 or negative 4 in the middle with 2 and 2. So we have to use the quadratic formula. So negative b, so I have 2, plus minus the square root of negative 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times, 4 all over 2. Thanks, kid. So now I have 2 plus minus, what's negative 2 squared? 4 minus 16 over 2. 2 plus minus negative 12 over 2. Can I break that down? 2 plus minus, what do I break 12 into? 4 and 3. And then I have an I underneath there, so it's 2I root 3 over 2, which simplifies to what? 1 plus minus I root 3. There's my 2 other solutions. What do you guys notice about them? They're imaginary. So how many x-intercepts do I have for this problem? I have 1. How many solutions do I have? 3, because I have 1 real, which is the intercept, and I have 2 imaginary. So let's go to your calculators right now. Everybody grab your calculator. Go to your y equals, clear out what you have. Now take your time. Hit the x button. Then raise it to the 3rd power. Scoot over with your arrow so you're down again. Now plus 2, hit your x squared. Scoot over so you're down again. Minus 4x plus 16. And then hit graph. Guys, that's not a line. It's like slanted, but how many times does that cross the x-axis? Just one time, right? Go ahead and hit second graph or second table. Second graph or second table. Do you see the XY chart comes up? You guys can scoot up or down. Where does it say right there that y is 0? What's the value of x when y is 0? What is it? Negative 4. Isn't that your intercept? When y is 0, you find your x-intercept. Table is really important because on your test, it's on the calculator part, it's going to say find some additional points. You don't have to plug anything else in. If you need additional points, you go to this table and you say, okay, when my x is negative 2, what is my y value? 24. When x is 4, what is my y value? 96. That table, it'll tell you other points. You can scroll up and down and say when x is 0, what is y? That's your y-intercept. When y is 0, what's your x? That's your x-intercept. So if you have to do these by hand, you guys have to use the P over Q and the synthetic division. If you don't have to do it by hand, you can throw it in your calculator. If it crosses at a whole number, you'll be able to see it on the table. If it doesn't, I'm going to show you how that works here in a second. Okay, I want to do number 2, and then we'll finish up 3 and 4 and do some extra practice tomorrow. Actually, I'm going to want you to try 3 and 4 on your own. Let's do number 2. All right, we're going to use our calculator for this. I'm going to show you why we have to use the calculator. I'm going to show you some more buttons on your calculator that you can play with here in a second. But I have how many terms? I have 4 terms. So my only possibility after I look for GCF is to group. If I group this, guys, is it going to group pretty? No, it is not. So then we have to do P over what? P over Q. Okay, so here's the deal. I have, what is my P? So I have plus minus 1, 2, 4, and 8, correct? My Q, I have plus minus what? 1 and 3. So not only do I have those whole numbers, I also have to take into account plus minus 1/3, right? Plus minus 2/3, plus minus 3/3, which is 1, 4/3, plus minus 8/3, right? Now, you could use synthetic division and just try to figure out where you will get a 0 as a remainder. You could, but that would take a very long time. So what I want you to do, first of all, go ahead and hit clear. We're going to talk about something else on your calculator. Go ahead and get clear. Get out of your table and all that good stuff. All right, everybody right now, listen to me. I want you to hit 1 divided by 3 and then hit enter. What do you guys get? 0.33333, right? Okay, now I want you to look at your calculator, hit second. No, just kidding. Sorry, don't hit second. You have 1 divided by 3, is your 0.333. Hit the word math. Top left, up by second, you see the word math. Do you see the first thing says like a little arrow and the word FRAC? What do you think that stands for? Fraction. Go ahead and hit enter. And then hit enter. What does it do with 0.3333333? It changed it to a what? It changed it to a fraction. Do you guys see that? So now, okay, let's try another one. Hit 8 divided by 7. You get 1.1428. All right, so hit math and then 1. And what did it do? It changed it what? To 8 divided by 7, okay? When you guys are going to find, some of these times you're not going to find a 0, that's a whole number. And that's why our calculator is super helpful, because you'll be able to find where the 0 is using your calculator. So let's do this together. Everybody in your calculator, go to your y equals. Clear it out, and I want you to put 3x cubed. You're putting in the problem that we're looking at. 3x cubed, scoot over, minus 2x squared, scoot over, plus 12x, scoot, well, it's already scooted, and then minus 8, and then hit graph. How many times do you see this crossing the x-axis? Once, okay? Now what we're going to do is we are going to use our calc button. I want you guys to hit second trace or calc, whichever you see, and hit 0. We're going to find the 0. And we're going to start on the left side first. Do you see where it says left bound? I want you guys to get to the left of that x-intercept. Just has to be on the left-hand side of it. And then hit enter, so that line comes up. Some of your calculators don't have the line, it's no big deal. Then you're going to scoot to the right-hand side of it and hit enter. Now your intercept should be in between those two lines, and then hit enter one more time. And it says x equals what? 0.66667 when y is 0, correct? That is an intercept, but that, guys, I don't want a decimal equivalent. Now let's talk about this, guys. This is where, listen. This is where we have to think a little bit. We've got to use this is our intercept. How many intercepts does it show that we have, guys? 1. So what are the other 2? Imaginary. So you guys have to use synthetic division. Have we done synthetic division with 0.6666? No, we don't use synthetic division with decimals. What is 0.66667? In your calculators, guys, hit 2 divided by 3. What'd you get? 2 divided by 3. What'd you get? 0.666. So you're going to use your calculators to find the decimal equivalent, what it is as a fraction. So what this x value is x equals 2/3. You found your 0. The calculator portion of this test, all of your zeros that you're going to find, I guarantee you, are going to be decimals. You're going to have to use the calculator, so you guys need to be proficient in that. Now that I know that one of my x's is 2/3, how can I find the other ones? We're going to use synthetic division. So I'm going to use 2/3 in the corner. Write out your coefficients. I have 3, then what? -2, 12, -8. Now you guys have a calculator in front of you, but you really don't need it. You can handle this. Bring down the 3. What is 2/3 times 3? Look. I'm glad that just came up. You guys got 0.6667, right? So you know it's a fraction. You should know what your fraction possibilities are, right? When you list out your possible fractions, agreed? So in your calculator, you hit 1/3, you get 0.33. You know it's not that one. In your calculator, you hit 2 divided by 3, you get 0.668. You're like, oh, wait, that's the fraction that I'm using. Does everybody understand that? So now, okay, let's synthetically divide. Bring down the 3. What's 2/3 times 3? Guys, oh my gosh. You have a calculator first, and then 2/3 times 3. What does that equal? 2. -2 plus 2 is 0. 0 times 2/3 is 0. 12 plus 0 is 12. 12 times 2/3, 8. What's negative 8 and positive 8? 0. Okay, so our remainder is 0. You guys just proved that, yep, x equals 2/3 is one of my answers. So what is left over here? 3x squared plus 12. Why is it just 12? There is 0 x's. Now, can you guys all solve this? Yeah, what do I take out of 3x squared and 12? 3, and I'm left with x squared plus what? 4 equals 0. So 3 equals 0. Is that ever true? No. X squared plus 4 equals 0. What happens? Yep, x squared equals negative 4. I take the square root. What does x equal? Plus or minus what? 2i. There's your other 2. There's your other 2. I'm going to do one more. We have time. Hold on.
Is there a way we can get it to like turn the polynomial into a quadratic for us, like the synthetic
No.
division?
All right, let's look at this next one. All right, I want to do this one. If you guys want to follow along with me, great. If you don't want to, fine. So let's talk about this. 4 terms. If I group it, it's not going to work. So let's look at P over Q. My possibilities for 15 would be plus minus 1, plus minus 3, plus minus 5, plus minus 15, yeah? My Q, plus minus 1 and 2. So I also have to account for plus minus 1/2, right? Plus minus 3 over 2, plus minus 5 over 2, plus minus 15 over 2. Agreed? Now, you can try to use synthetic division 19,000 times, or let's throw it in our calculator. So everybody, in your calculators, hit your y equals, clear it out, 2x cubed, scoot over, minus 3x squared, scoot over, minus 10x plus 15, and hit graph. And let's see what happens. How many times does this one cross? Whoa. Ooh, 3 times. You guys are like, wait, hold on a second. All right, we got 3. So let's find our intercepts. Let's see what x equals. We've got to find one that we can use synthetic division. Some of them we'll be able to, some of them we won't. So let's hit second calc or trace and hit your 0. Let's find the one on the far left first. Let's find the one on the far left. Okay, hold on. One on the far left. I got negative 2.236. You guys agree? Yep. Okay, that's not super. Let's find another one. Let's go to that middle one that I see. What's that middle one? What'd you guys get for the middle one?
1.5.
Uh-huh. Okay, I found the 3x intercepts using my calculator. I got x equals negative 2.236. I got x equals 1.5 and x equals positive 2.236. Does anything jump out at you about those 3 decimals? What does 1.5 tell you? It's 3 over 2, isn't it? Right, wait, you know what? Isn't one of our possibilities 3 over 2? So let's take this, x equals 1.5. I'm going to say x equals 3 over 2, and I'm going to use synthetic division.
Wait, how come we have to use synthetic division if we have our other 2 zeros?
Because you cannot, you give decimals.
Oh.
The decimal equivalent, that's not exact. It's approximate, but it's not. 1.5 is exact. All right, so I know that 3 over 2 is one of my zeros. So I'm going to take 3 over 2, and I'm going to use synthetic division. Everybody watch this. Stop playing with your calculators for a second. Watch this. Negative 3, negative 10, and 15. You guys will see the importance of the next day and a half of you practicing with your calculator, because you have a calculator portion that you have to do this on your own. So I bring down my 2 here. 2 times 3 over 2 is what? 2 times 3 over 2, guys, is 3. Thank you. Negative 3 and 3 is 0. 0 times, this is negative 10. What's negative 10 times 3 over 2? negative 15. Negative 15, positive 15 is 0. So you guys just proved that 3 over 2 is, in fact, one of your intercepts. So what do you have left over here? 2x squared minus 10 equals 0. Factor out a 2. God bless. X squared minus 5 equals 0. Yep. So 2 equals 0. Not true. X squared equals 5. So you're going to do what? X equals plus minus the square root of 5. Okay? In your calculators that you have in front of you, just hit clear, go to your math button, hit second x squared. Does the square root come up? And then put a 5 and hit enter. What do you get? 2.236. Isn't that what we found on our calculator? If you found the negative one, it's going to be negative 2. So here's the other 2. They are actual real intercepts, but they are not exact. You cannot use these decimals and tell me that those are the you cannot give decimal answers. What you're going to do is use the calculator and your trace button to find one of your zeros using your possibilities that you list from P over Q, and then you use synthetic division to find the other ones. But you can always check because you guys have your calculators. I check to see, oh, the square root of 5 is indeed plus and minus negative, or plus minus 2.236. Now, it is important. You have to be able to use your calculator. So tomorrow and Friday, bring it in. We're just going to keep practicing these problems. We'll work together. I'll help you guys, but you have to be proficient in this. Everybody understand? Okay. Whatever. Let's look at it. Look at the last one. Before you guys throw stuff in your calculator, what should I tell you? What do I tell you to do? Check to see what happens here. Can I group this? So I have x squared, x plus 2. What can I take out here? Positive 9. I'm left with x plus 2. Oh, perfect. So my new GCF is x plus 2. And then I have x squared plus 9 left over. Yep. So x equals negative 2. And x equals what here? Plus minus 3i. So when you throw this in your calculator, what would you see? What would you visually see with this? 1x intercept. Where would your 1x intercept be? At negative 2. Does everybody understand that? All right. So tomorrow I have more practice, like, I don't know, 8 maybe, 8 or 9. And we're just going to practice today. All right, sorry, tomorrow, Friday. We'll review on Monday, and then we'll test on Tuesday.